Hey, what up, everybody? Steviebreech coming to you live from none other than Burger King, the official sponsor of part two of the question and answer thing for you. We went to the doctor last night. We were there for a long damn time, and they basically sent my wife home and said that she wasn't going to be having a baby last night. So I went to work today. Here I am on my lunch with barely any sleep. So I am going to do part two of my question and answer to keep myself awake, honestly. Let's go here. I think the last one I left off on was Pedro Caddy. Did you ever meet any sexy ladies who watched WWE? I've had one girlfriend who watched WWE with me, but she was not a sexy lady. At least it's not anymore. Dixie Boy 701. What is your WrestleMania 30 predictions? I think we're gonna have a ton of fun in New Orleans, and if you're not coming, you're gonna be missing out on a lot. I have no clue on what the card's going to be. I think they're going to give us Lesnar versus Punk, which is one thing that I thought was going to happen for there. So maybe it's going to be, if anything, it would be like Cena versus Taker, and then Brock versus Rock, and CM Punk versus Jack Swagger. Those would be my predictions. The Straight Fate. What would WWE have to do to make a DVD look unbuyable straight off? I think one of the worst covers they've done for a DVD in a long time is more than likely like the Randy Orton Viper cover. That was one that I was really glad that I didn't buy in a store and I got through the mail. I'm not really that scared to buy wrestling DVDs in the stores, but that was one that looked pretty dumb. What is your opinion of Kenny King? I find him to be just to be there and not anything special. Kenny King's I think he has a talent. I think that he hasn't really found his way to really show it in TNA. Maybe he's the guy that would really be able to show himself better if they still have the six-sided ring that they used to have back then. But he'll find his way. If they keep him there, keep letting them do promos, people remember him. He's going to get to a special spot. Let him get that X Division well balanced again in TNA, because for so long it was just there, and I think that it's one of their focuses right now. They really want to focus on and move forward from there. So Kenny King's in a good spot in TNA. Life saving tips. 69. I want to go to WrestleMania 31 and I live in Australia. Do you have any trips for traveling? Right now, the best things I think you can find for traveling to WrestleMania 31. Oh, that's 31, not 30. Save your money. I mean, that's all it really is to do. You have to first find out where it's going to be. I think they're going to announce where it's going to be. August 1st is the day where they're going to announce where 31 and 32 is. So you're going to have to wait for then, and then you have to sort of... first thing I would do if I was you, I would knock out how much the trip of how much the plane ticket's going to cost. Then you map out, where you're going to stay. Then you go with your WrestleMania ticket, and then you build everything around that. You find out if you want to go to WrestleCon, you want to go to what shows you want to go to, what access sessions you want to go to. Things just sort of fall into place for you. Once you knock out your plane ticket from living in Australia, that's going to be your hardest thing you have to do. Who do you think should headline WrestleMania 30? I think I just sort of answered that one. Cena, Undertaker, Rock, Brock Lesnar, and CM Punk. Those are your biggest stars. Those are the guys you should be pushing. Large A777. What match do you feel is most underrated? I don't think I can think of one match that is underrated. I think I watch shows every once in a while, and the show will pop up that I haven't thought of in a long time. But I don't really hear anybody like bash a certain match, and then I watch it and I really like it. But I apologize, Large A, I can't enter that one. Mr. WWE Freak 2012. Who is your favorite WWE wrestler of all time? Hulk Hogan and Triple H. J17 Gritari. What is your favorite match? My favorite match probably be Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect, SummerSlam 1991. And do you prefer TNA or PWG? I've honestly not seen much PWG, so I'm going to have to say that I prefer TNA, but PWG is the place that I want to see a show if I've ever heard it anywhere else. Y2BK Bull. What is the strangest wrestling story you've ever heard of? Probably X-Pac taking a shit in a sandwich and Mark Henry eating it. That's it. Xbox One or PS4, I'm probably not going to be on either boat until one of them is dirt cheap, and it's just too good to pass up on. Jet Willard, are you going to buy the Dolph Ziggler plaque? If I can get it 20% off, I'll buy it. How much money do you have invested in your DVD collection? Honestly, too much. I think I've saved a lot of dollars. I've never really, I don't think I've bought any DVDs for more than $25, except for like the anthology sets. That's sort of like my cap limit. I know there's a lot of rare DVDs out there that are like, sell higher than that. I just keep bidding on them on eBay until I find one to steal. I set a limit, and that's all I'm going to put into it, and that's it. I mean, it's only a DVD. It's not something that has saved my life, so I don't have to have it. Most of the DVDs that I don't have for my collection, I have on burned copies, so just I'm going to be all right. I'm not going to go out of my way to really buy something. If I never get it, I never get it. If I do, I do. It's not like if I get every WWE DVD that's ever been out there, it's not like I'm gonna be pushed, to this separate plateau of collectors or anything like this. My collection's pretty big and it's pretty good. How long have you been collecting? Started collecting probably in like 2005-ish. I remember I would buy sort of random DVDs, and then there was a string of DVDs that came out. It was Mr. Perfect, Rob Van Dam, and then the Road Warriors Legion of Doom set. And I bought, what did I buy? The last one I bought was the Road Warrior set, which just sort of came out. They're not my favorite tag team of all time. I didn't really want to own that DVD, but I was mostly buying it because it was a wrestling documentary. I knew it was something that I would watch and I would enjoy, but it wasn't like I had to have it. And I remember I was standing in the line at Best Buy, and I was like, I guess this is my thing now. I'm going to buy all the DVDs that come out. And I was going on a certain streak, and then I sort of stopped, and then I picked it up and started going with it again. But whatever year those DVDs came out with, probably 2004-ish, probably. McIntyre is the man. How awesome is that? Kickster. Kirkster. Christian Kirkland is on the official WWE plaque. That is pretty badass. All the plaques of all the shows that I've ever been to, I've always looked for myself in them. I thought it was going to be pretty much a lock that I was going to be on the WrestleMania 28 plaques because we sat so close. But that is pretty badass that you made it on there, Christian. And honestly, for you and Mario is one of the main reasons why I really want to buy that plaque. And that plaque's getting a lot of guff because it doesn't have a piece of the mat or anything on there. It's just got two small pictures and an 8x10. And it's got a pink frame, But I think most people buy those plaques for the autograph. It's not like anybody ever opens them up and like touches the ring rope or smells the mats or anything like that. So people saying it doesn't have any part of the mat is a little bit pretty stupid. HBK Mania 96. What is your most prized possession in your WWE collection? I think I answered this question earlier, talking about my Taker Triple H plaque and then my TNA Lockdown plaque. But anything else I can really think of is probably my Edge 1 of 3,000 figure that I got signed in 2010 for the one reason of he was like the first big name wrestler that I met, and that sort of going on that SummerSlam trip sort of like got me. Like I went to WrestleMania 26, but I think it was SummerSlam that really started getting the ball going. That was like, I guess I'm that guy who goes to a lot of shows now. And he was the first guy that I met. We went to 27 after that, and I can't remember who the biggest name was I met at 27. Just met a lot of people from going to 3 different access sessions. We went to the ROH. No, I didn't. I sent somebody else to the ROH meet and greet for me. We went in a lot of places. Bear 12117. Do you think that WWE would still have edited Chris Benoit out of footage if he hadn't killed himself and not killed his wife? Not killed his wife. If he didn't kill himself and he didn't kill his wife, they wouldn't edit him out. He'd probably still be wrestling today. I don't know if maybe he mistyped the question, but if I'm answering the way it is here, if he hadn't killed himself and his wife, then he'd just be a normal dude. they wouldn't be editing him out. But if he had killed his wife and he hadn't killed himself, he'd be in prison, and I think they'd still be doing the same thing that they would be doing today. I think it's probably better that he killed himself, honestly. If you go to a WWE event, would you ever go to the ring and hit a wrestler? No, Pimp Hacker, I would never hit a wrestler. That's pretty stupid. 88 rated Rockstar 88 rated Rockstar 88. Would Hulk Hogan be big if he would have debuted 2006 with the same gimmick? No, because WWE hasn't pushed any of their new guys well at all. They just sort of let them die. They just sort of put them out there, and then they sort of have to make themselves. They don't really have the company pushing anybody like they did with Hogan. They made sure everybody in the place knew who Hulk Hogan was and that he was the star. That's why everybody thought he was a star. Where does the Shield go after Payback? I guess they're going to fight the Usos. That's the only thing I can think of. I had no idea that you were expecting. Yeah, well, it's not me. My wife is having a baby for somebody else, the family who lives in San Francisco. If you could sit front row for any wrestling event throughout the course of history, which one would you choose and why? I'd probably choose the ECW reunion show in 2005, One Night Stand. That might be a little bit of a weird show to pick, but that's one show that everybody wishes that they were at, and it was a whole lot more special than I think anybody thought it was going to be. The people that actually ordered that show on pay-per-view and saw it live really got a treat that night. WWE and Music in My Life 11. Which WWE superstar do you think should have a 3-disc set, and who has not had one yet? Try to think of all the main event guys. When CM Punk got one, he was like the one guy. Before him was Randy Orton. Who out there hasn't had one? Shoot. Daniel Bryan hasn't been there long enough to get a 3-disc set, but he might be the one guy who's most deserving. Sheamus has been there just as long as he has. Daniel Bryan would definitely sell better than Sheamus. But is there anybody else I'm not thinking of? Big Show got one. Anybody ever watch that one? I don't think so. Probably Daniel Bryan. Split 79. Oh, you didn't have this question. Notification. Who's your favorite manager of all time and why? Probably Jimmy Hart because he was how loud he was. No. Bobby the Brain Heenan because how smart he was and how he cheated all the time. I like Jimmy Hart because you always knew he was out there when he was, on the megaphone. Now that was pretty smart. How even when he wasn't on the screen during the matches, if they were on the hard camera zoomed in on the ring, you always knew he was out there, knew he could affect the match anytime. The Brain just because he always really cheated at the right time, and when he did get caught cheating, it was so good. Is there a piece of merch that you regret buying? Lots of it. Lots. I can't think of one thing that really stands out. It'd have to be some sort of a figure or something like that I just saw at a store and was like, I gotta have that. And then I later was like, why the hell did I buy this? This is pretty stupid. How old were you when you got married? Weed the Players 00. I got married at 24 and at 28. Dan, the G-Spot Kid. Oh yeah, the channel I'm talking about is Danny Galvin's TV. Okay, alright. What's your favorite DVD of all time? Favorite DVD of all time? I just did a top 10, and it was hard to enable it down to just 10 DVDs, but I guess we'd check out that video. And, let me see, there was like the CM Punk DVD, the Edge DVD, there was, Money in the Bank and SummerSlam 2011, WrestleMania's, whatever, the Legacy of WrestleMania, whatever that set was called. There was a lot of them on there, and I was Survivor Series 2010. That was another one. Have you ever seen my YouTube videos? I make unboxings. I have belts, and I'm trying to get big on here. I apologize, Dan, G-Spot Kid. I've not seen your videos, but I will go over there. You left 4 comments in a row. Wow. Dan Avery, what's your job? I'm a meat cutter for a grocery store. And who do you think? Also, what did you What did you think WWE in 2006? I think that's my answer. Just, I watched it. I watched a lot of it, but it's not fun to think about. WWE Steelers Ben, how much are pay-per-view seats that you get the chair for Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber? $300 a pop. $300. One of the shows going to be in Pittsburgh this upcoming year, and I was wondering, no, well, the Rumble and Chamber might be 300, but for freaking SummerSlam they were $500 for one show. I'm sitting in the hundreds, and I paid $170. Wrap your head around that one. One of the shows that is going to be in Pittsburgh this upcoming year, and I was wondering how much I would have to pay. I probably plan on paying $300 plus your service charges and your tax, so at least $330. So I'm guessing you would want to save up. Brandon Frederick, if you are on a burning bridge with your dog, a complete stranger, and you can only save one, who would you save? Probably my dog. Did you ever see WWE hiring any big-name movie stars for any of the movie projects in the future? Well, they sort of cheated because they paid in to get a production a credit on the call. But I mean, Halle Berry's a pretty big movie star. It's not like she makes a lot of movies that are like must-see. But I mean, like, she's probably the biggest star they've gotten. I think they could get somebody though. I mean, like, there's a lot of big name movie stars that fall, and I mean, like, they just haven't had a big movie in a while, so they should start taking any roles they can get. Jonathan Statham, he makes movies like every week. It seems like a new one's coming out. So I mean, like, all they have to do is probably give the guy a call and he'd make a movie for him. And most of his movies are pretty badass. I mean, they all have the same plot of him kicking everybody's ass. So it wouldn't be that hard to get a script for him. What made you start making YouTube videos? Honestly, because I watched Jim Knight's videos, and I figured if he could do it, so could I. And I've told him that. I probably have told him that to his face. And but I don't know if that's like a slam on the guy or if that's a compliment. But it's a little bit of both, honestly. Cam12899, thanks. Your Heel Steven, your favorite jobber growing up as a kid. My favorite jobber growing up when I was a kid would probably have to be Barry Horowitz. He was so believable, and then when he finally got his wind, it was like incredible. It just sucked that they tried to push the guy. They gave him his own T-shirt, and it never took off. Like, they almost sort of just like forgot about him. Would you feel uncomfortable playing Kurt Angle? Would you feel uncomfortable playing Kurt Angle in the Kurt Angle Jeff Jarrett story? I'll take any roles I can get. Acting roles pay money. Money buys wrestling merch. Favorite food of all time? A good burger is really awesome. And I can eat pizza all the time. But it have to be one or the other, unless it's like any sort of like plate of Chinese food. I like Chinese food more than anything. Mexican food is like right behind it. I could eat both all day long. So I can't narrow it down to one. You put food in front of me, I'm going to eat it. Like, I'm going to eat this turkey burger in a minute. I bought it because I was surprised that Burger King made a turkey burger. Dylan Laverty, what are you naming the baby? The family who's having the baby is naming the baby Frankie, like Coco Beware. I didn't realize that today. I typed it in a text when Jim and I texted me this morning asking about the baby, and I said they were going to name it Frankie. And then I think because mostly I didn't get that much sleep last night. Right after that, I followed it up with a text of like Coco Beware's bird. And that was like the funniest thing I'd ever heard in my life. And I woke everybody up in the house laughing, and they were all pissed. Big Marcus, 1995. Curtis Axel versus Triple H for the Intercontinental title, Money in the Bank or SummerSlam. Honestly, from what I've read and what I've heard, is that match just scrapped and it's not going to happen anymore. Curtis Axel is getting the rub for being the Intercontinental Champion, but I don't think they're going to put him in a match with Triple H because it would be pretty stupid to have him as sort of like going up for the Intercontinental Championship with how big of a star he is. Although Flair pulled it off. He was in a different part of his career, though. When Flair beat Carlito and he won the Intercontinental belts, he sort of made it believable, I guess. But Triple H, not going to happen. Lesnar versus Punk at SummerSlam. I think it's going to be... I would have to guess that Lesnar's going to win because it's pretty stupid to have that guy lose all the time. RVD versus Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam. I'd pick Daniel Bryan because, I mean, I'm picking RVD to lose at Money in the Bank. So I don't know what the hell you do with this guy, but Daniel Bryan's the guy that you're pushing. He's the guy that needs to become the star. And if you do something like where he loses at SummerSlam and wins on Raw, you're just recreating RVD and TNA again. So I have no clue. But how long did we go? We went 20 minutes. So we'll end it here, and then we'll come back for part 3 later. I'll upload this today, and then we'll see what we can do. But thanks, everybody. Peace out. Have fun. I'm going to eat this turkey burger, eat some fries.